Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. All right, we are back. Continue with the theme of all these monstrous Phyrexian creatures from Phyrexia all will be set. Today we have his Zopandrel Hunger Dominus. I'm going to get right into the card. It's super simple. It's another big green stompy creature that works well with a lot of different decks that have green in them. But if you're going mono green, you might favor some of these cards. So first, its abilities. For 7 mana, 5 colors, 2 green, it's a 4/6 Phyrexian horror with reach. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. Tap 2 Phyrexian mana of green, sacrifice 2 other creatures, put an indestructible counter on Zopandrel Hunger Dominus. Now, what's important here is the text box that says at the beginning of each combat. That means when it's not on your turn, creatures you control double their power. So don't think it's always offensive. It's defensive also. So your opponents will have to really think twice when they are attacking you because your 4/4 becomes an 8/8. And the first set of creatures we're going to introduce that work well with him is the Groundbreaker and Putrefacts. Groundbreaker is literally a lightning elemental, except for it's green. It's 3 green mana. It's an elemental that's 6/1, trample, haste, and at the end of turn, sack it. Okay, if you swing in and during combat, it becomes a 12/2, actually a 12/1. All right, but I have a better version of him, Putrefacts. For 5 mana, it is a horror. It's a 5/3 with trample and haste, except this one has infect. Okay, that means your opponents will be getting poison counters. So they will be getting 5 poison counters in general if it connects all the way. But if you have Zopandrel out, you double its power. So literally it becomes a Blightsteel Colossus, hitting your opponents for 10 power, and that's 10 poison counters. They will never see it. Use this one at the perfect timing. Next up, we have Tanuki Transplanter and Sakiko Mother of Summer. They're going to be doing similar abilities, but let's start off with Tanuki. Tanuki is an artifact creature equipment dog. This came from the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set. He says, whenever Tanuki Transplanter or equipped creature attacks, add an amount of green mana equal to its power. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. Tap 3 mana to reconfigure. So right here, it's going to be almost like a Krufix in green. So whenever you deal damage, you get to add all that green mana to your mana pool for the next turn, and it just stores it. So if you're doubling his power, that 2/4 for Tanuki, if he's an equipment dog, becomes 4 damage. Moving on to Sakiko. It does the same thing except for it's all your creatures. I'll read the ability. She is a snake shaman. She says, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, add that much green mana to your mana pool. This mana doesn't cause mana burn. Until end of turn, this mana doesn't empty from your mana pool as phases end. So you're just going to be able to rack up as much green mana as possible. So imagine doubling your power on your creatures, and you're going to add that much more green mana, which gives you the ability to do so much more other abilities. Next up we have is the Ancient Bronze Dragon. 7 mana. It's a 7/7 flyer Elder Dragon. He reads, whenever Ancient Bronze Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. When you do, put X +1/+1 counters on each of up to 2 target creatures where X is the result. So this is just another big stompy green dragon. You can make it a 14/14. Yeah, it's going to be a target, so expect it to be dying to removal quickly. Next up we have Kosei Penitent Warlord. Now, what you need to know is Zopandrel will be in the 99 of this commander because this commander is kind of tough to meet all his abilities actually to be powerful. He says, actually, let me start off. For 3 mana, he's an Ogre Samurai. He's an 0/5. As long as Kosei Penitent Warlord is enchanted, equipped, and has a counter on it, Kosei has, whenever Kosei Penitent Warlord deals combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards, and Kosei deals that much damage to each other opponent. So not only are you going to double its power, because who knows what artifact equipments you have on it, or enchantments, because he's going to be a big stompy Voltron commander, you literally double his power. Bam. So you're going to be getting double the power, double the amount of cards, and double the amount of damage to each other opponent. He's going to be a target. Nobody wants to lose to somebody else not having defense. Next up we have Scepter of Celebration. It's an artifact equipment. Tap 3 mana. 1 green, 2 colors. This equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen creature tokens. Equip 3. This is great for green-white tribal decks, Silesia all day. If you're going with humans or you're just trying to create more token for some kind of fodder, Zopandrel just doubles your power of your creature, and he's just getting bigger. That's awesome. Next up is Oh Gnawbone. I'm not going to talk about him too much because he is not budget friendly. I repeat, not budget friendly. For 7 mana, it's a 7/7 flying dragon. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. Yeah, simple enough. Next up is a budget-friendly card that is powerful, and all it needs is haste. Okay, Hydra Omnivore for 6 mana, 2 green, 4 colorless. Whenever Hydra Omnivore deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to each other opponent. So not only is it 8/8, it can become a 16/16. So you think your opponent's going to just let somebody get hit for 16 and they take 16? No. So I suggest putting some kind of artifact equipment to give it evasive abilities. It needs trample, it needs haste, because your opponents do not need to see this coming and to be able to prepare for it. This is a one-hitter quitter. Next up we have Stone Tongue Basilic for 4 mana plus 3 green. It's a 4/5 creature. Whenever Stone Tongue deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature at end of combat. Pretty much that's Death Touch. Threshold. All creatures able to block Stone Tongue do so. So right here, the deadliest combo is Death Touch and being able to block all creatures if needed. You're going to be able to wipe out all your opponent's blockers and have free range right to your opponents for combat damage, regular damage, whatever. Because Stone Tongue is taking all the blockers. For 3 colors and 2 green, it's a 4/4 frog horde. It has trample and haste. That is good right there for a 5 mana creature. However, it says whenever Froghemoth deals combat damage to a player, exile up to that many target cards from their graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Froghemoth for each creature card exiled this way. You gain 1 life for each non-creature card exiled this way. Wow, that is a lot of stacked abilities on Froghemoth. You probably haven't seen this card, or you probably overlooked it. So it's graveyard hate, it has trample, it has haste, and it has pump up ability. And it puts counters on it, so you could proliferate after. And you gain 1 life for each non-creature card exiled this way. So all those removals that's in those graveyards, gone. Sorceries, instants, planeswalkers, artifacts, enchantments. The list just goes on, and he just gets bigger. Then you double his power with Zopandrel, he will become a threat. Next up we have is Tervigon. For tap X and 1 colorless, 1 green, it's a Tyrannid. Starts off as a 0/0, but it has Ravenous. This creature enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. If X is 5 or more, draw a card when it enters. It does have trample. Then it has Spawn Termagants. It's a populate type of ability. Whenever a Tervigon deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green Tyrannid creature tokens. So, hey, it's just like the artifact that we had earlier that creates the Scepter of Celebration, where you're creating tokens, except for it's Tyrannids instead, and those are just 1/1 creatures that you can make bigger and bigger, especially as Zopandrel's on the battlefield. Finally, we have Aberrant. It has the same casting cost as Tervigon. Tap X, tap a 1, colorless, and a green. Starts off as 0/0. It's a Tyrannid mutant, has Ravenous, and is the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. If 5 or more are put on it, draw a card. It does have trample. Except for this one has Heavy Power Hammer. Whenever Aberrant deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment that player controls. So literally, with Zopandrel, you're just looking to make it bigger. It has trample. Alright, thank you for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The next 2 videos that you see on the screen are videos that YouTube is suggesting for you. So click and enjoy.